they're
his
too
statues
nice.
up
You
as a
have to
show of
destroy
grace.
them.
His
Destroy them
mercy
all.
might have killed him,
Destroy us all.
and it might mean
Destroy us all.
And they'll destroy us all to make it happen! Destroy us all! Destroy us all!
Destroy us all. The most famous killing in history by Imperial. And as always, not gonna make the intro too long. The original's in the description below, and that being said, let's get it.
it's the 15th
Beware
of
the
March,
Owls of March.
44 BC, in Rome. The most powerful man in
Wait,
the Roman
that's
Republic,
literally
the
the day
dictator
before my
Julius
birthday.
Caesar,
What?
walks through the doors of the Curia of Pompey, the
I
temporary
mean, not of
gathering
that
point
year,
for the Roman Senate's
obviously,
meetings.
but yeah.
The usual venue, the Roman Forum, a kilometre to the southeast, is undergoing renovations to build a new Senate house in Caesar's name, and is unavailable. The Curia, meaning meeting place
We're
in
in there
Latin,
on to Caesar
is
with his
located at the
Caesars.
eastern point of a large open courtyard known as the Portico of Pompey. Compared to the
That's
Forum,
actually a quote from
it's
Jesus,
rather
by the way.
secluded. It has no direct access to the side streets of Rome, and the only exits lead directly onto the portico. Today, this area is occupied by a large group of armed
No,
gladiators
architecture was so
who are loitering
good.
near the Curia
Like,
entrance,
really look at the
trying to
architecture.
stay
It was so,
inconspicuous.
like,
Inside the
good,
Curia,
especially for the
senators
technology
are
level.
nervously milling about. They watch as Caesar takes a seat on his golden ceremonial
This
chair
looks like a
at the front
church
of
or
the
a
room.
courthouse.
Caesar's right-hand man and closest ally, his co-consul Mark Antony,
Mark
who had been
Antony.
with him before
Wait,
he
did
entered,
Mark Antony
is
betray
nowhere
him?
to be seen.
Wait, did he betray him?
Unbeknownst to him, Antony is nearby, just outside, but he's being distracted by another senator. Caesar is alone. Across the
Who
room,
was the other
a
senator?
man rises from the benches and starts walking towards him.
Look out, he's gonna attack you. Look out, look out.
To understand Caesar's death, we have to understand how he got here. In the
Let's
eyes of
hear it.
Rome's political
Let's hear
elite,
it.
Caesar had grown too powerful.
The rise to
Over
power,
the course
so
of an
to
almost
speak.
40-year career, he reached Rome's highest public office, consul. He conquered all of modern-day France and Belgium and parts of Switzerland, Germany, and the Netherlands. By all accounts, he was a military genius, and charismatic too. His armies, comprised of Roman legions, became
I
loyal
mean,
to
he was a
him
genius for
and
the
only
time.
him.
He
His
was a
many
genius
victories
for
with
the
them
time.
made him fabulously wealthy. Finally, he had a habit of pandering to the masses, opposing unpopular policies, and presenting himself as a man of the people. He became
Pander,
very
Pander
popular,
bear. He's a
perhaps
Pander bear.
too popular. In 49 BC, fearing
Guys, maybe I should start pandering to the masses. Maybe I should stop saying what I really think, and maybe I should pander to the masses. I'm just playing, I'm just joking. I can never do that. It seems like way too much work, and I get annoyed really, really easily.
Caesar was becoming
I can
larger
never
than
do
Rome,
that.
the Senate, alongside his chief rival, Pompey the Great, moved against him. They attempted to recall him from his campaign in Gaul and strip him of his military command. A command which gave him legal immunity
Why
under
would they
Roman
do that?
law. Sensing that his enemies wished to prosecute him
so they're gonna
and
try to
curb
put
his
him in
power
jail.
on his return to the city, Caesar made a fateful decision. With a legion of soldiers in tow, he crossed the Rubicon River in northern Italy. The river marked the border
He
between
crossed
the
the
Roman
Rubicon.
heartland and its
He
other
crossed the
provinces.
Rubicon.
And by Roman law,
Guys,
all
once
returning
you cross the
generals
Rubicon,
had to
there's
disband
no
their
going back.
armies and lay down their arms before crossing it, as to avoid internal conflicts. By deliberately ignoring this, Caesar
He crossed the
started a civil
Rubicon.
war, one that would last 4 years and span the entire republic. In March of 45 BC, he would win that civil war,
Well, maybe
having
don't start
defeated
civil
Pompey the
wars.
Great, the only
Wait,
man
I thought
that
it
could
lasted.
rival
Oh no,
him
now
in
it's the Empire.
influence and wealth.
Now it's the Empire.
This made him the undisputed most powerful
And not
man
the Republic
in Rome.
anymore, it's the Empire.
The Senate, an institution that once sought to reduce his power and influence, elected him to the consulship a further 3 times. And finally, in February of 44 BC, granted him the title of dictator for life. For a time before the foundation of the
Dictator
Roman
for life?
Republic, Rome had
I
been
mean, that's a
ruled
pretty
by
high,
kings.
level of
Tyrannical,
trust. I don't know if I
cruel
would trust
kings.
anybody that much,
When
but
the last
okay.
monarch, Tarquin the Proud, was overthrown around 509 BC, the Roman people,
Tarquin.
particularly the conservative aristocracy that would end up forming most of the Senate, vowed that no king should rule Rome again. It now seemed that Caesar fancied himself.
Oh
a
yeah, I
king.
don't know why you would do
He
that.
began wearing opulent royal garbs and constructing statues of himself in public. His allies called for extravagant celebrations in his honor.
Guys, just imagine living like back during this time. Like, look at everyone in this photo. Like, you're wearing robes, which, it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. I can admit that. But, like, this is just what they do all day. They're just, like, hoisting people up. They're just hoisting people up, and they're just, like, standing at attention and just, like, walking around. Like, there's no anime. There's no video games. There's no waifus. Like, how could you? Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure people had statue waifus, I guess.
And proposed
But,
and later
yeah.
succeeded in changing the month of Quintilis, the month he was born, to Julius. He installed in the Senate a golden chair designed specifically for him.
Wait, is that where we
chair
get July?
Upon which
Wait,
he
is that where
sits
we get July?
today. Caesar had grown too powerful, and he was flaunting it. He threatened the continued existence of the Republic. If defeating him on the battlefield was impossible, his foes would have
Absolute
to find
power
another way
corrupts
to bring
absolutely.
him down.
But I don't think Julius Caesar did anything too bad. They just
The men
didn't
who
want him to be as
conspired to kill
powerful as he
Caesar,
was.
a group of about 60,
Which is
are
really more of a
diverse
jealousy
in their
thing.
backgrounds. A few are former allies who felt their loyalty to him
60
had
of
not
them?
been sufficiently
There are
rewarded.
60 of them?
Some are remnants of the Pompeian faction,
You're just
the group that
entitled.
fought Caesar during the Civil War under Pompey the Great.
You should have been
A group
executed.
he,
You guys
perhaps
should have been
foolishly,
executed.
pardoned.
Who else? Who else?
A
Come on.
handful simply oppose his
Yeah,
accumulation
you
of
should have
power
done that.
out of principle, fearing he would destroy the state's republican values.
Okay, well,
Most, however, are members
well,
of the
okay, I can
conservative
get those
aristocracy,
people.
who profit greatly from Rome's republican form of government as they monopolize the Senate and thus oppose Caesar's centralization of power.
Oh.
These
So
men
you guys
have been
just want
meeting in
money.
secret
See,
for
I don't
months
like you
to hatch a
guys.
plan to kill him. They considered assassinating him in
And
public
no one
on a
told him?
street in Rome
No one
known
leaked
as the
it?
Via Sacra. This was probably abandoned
And
because
see,
the
this is
venue
why I
was
wouldn't
too
want,
public.
like, this much
Any
fame and
ally of
power,
Caesar's,
because
if they
somebody's
were
just gonna
nearby,
randomly
could
assassinate
simply
you for no
intervene.
reason.
Caesar had no bodyguards on payroll while in the city, but he was known to surround himself with some particularly intimidating friends to compensate. Another questionable idea was flinging him from a
That Caesar
bridge
have his
and
own,
placing
like,
a number
weapon
of
on
armed
him?
men below it to ensure the fall would be fatal. They also considered striking while he was at a gladiator show.
And this is also a crazy thing about it. Like, back in these days, if someone wanted to assassinate you, they could really, like, do it and get away with it as long as there's no one around to see them. And as long as they didn't, like, drop their coin pouch or something. But they could really get away with it. Like, I'm so glad to have been born during these times,
As they could
rather
hide
than
the
those
assassins
times.
in plain sight, posing as gladiators.
Plus, again, waifus.
Ultimately, though,
Waifus.
a Senate session on the 15th of March
I need a waifu
was
for
selected
waifu.
to be the best time to strike. Soon after this date, Caesar would be outside of the city on a
Literally
military
the day
campaign
before.
to defeat the Dacians and the Parthian Empire to Rome's east, making it far more difficult for them to reach him and allowing him to accumulate even more glory, prestige, and power. Choosing a Senate meeting made sense, too. All those present were sure
They're
to be
just
unarmed,
jealous.
as it
And
was
they're just
generally
jealous.
prohibited to bring weapons into the Senate House.
And see, this is a problem that we are facing today, as well as back then. This is the same reason that school shootings happen, because not even the cops really have guns on school premises. So it's like, if a school shooter comes in, there's nobody to fight him off. And this is the same exact principle. Now, granted, I don't think students should come to school with guns. They should definitely not. But like the officers at the school should definitely have them. And like, I'm pretty sure all schools had
making
like
resistance
security
unlikely.
officers and whatnot,
Most of the
right?
Senate were indeed loyal to Caesar, but even his closest allies would think twice to spring to
Render
his
unto
defense
Caesar what
when
is
faced with a
Caesar's.
blade. Additionally, in a closed Senate meeting, Caesar could be dealt with more subtly, away
Again,
from the
all
prying
they had
eyes
were
and ears of the
blades,
public,
like at this point in
and
history.
Caesar's
Blades and arrows.
informal protection.
And that is a lot more
So,
survivable
on the
than
day
like
of the
someone pulling a
15th,
gun on you.
daggers are
I mean,
secretly
granted, you
brought
have the will
into
and
the
knowledge to
Curia of
fight.
Pompey in wooden boxes, usually used to carry writing tablets for record keeping. Before Caesar's arrival, members of the conspiracy retrieved
I
the blades
wonder how
and
history
concealed
would
them
have changed if
underneath
you would
their
have just
togas.
like went back
Outside
in
the
time
building,
there with
the
the
conspirators
9mm
deploy a
pistol
group of
and just
armed
like shot
gladiators
all of
to
those
cover the
guys who are
Curia's
trying to take out
exits,
Caesar.
ensuring that
I wonder
Caesar
how
won't
history would
get
have
far
changed.
should he try to escape.
Maybe
They are
no
owned
Dark
by the
Ages, maybe
senator
no Dark Ages.
Decimus Brutus, a man that
2,000
Caesar
more
considers to be a
2,000 more
close
years of
friend
progress.
and ally.
Maybe we're
A
colonizing
man
planets.
named second
Who
in his
knows?
will, a man that Caesar trusts. Caesar
Oh,
would not
Brutus.
question the presence of the gladiators,
Brutus,
knowing them
Brutus
to be
is a traitor.
Decimus's.
Brutus
Finally,
is a traitor.
when Caesar arrives with his co-consul Mark Antony, a senator by the name of Gaius Trebonius pulls him aside and begins to speak with him. Antony is a big, brawny man, and his loyalty to Caesar is without question. The conspiracy thought it wise to take him out of the equation,
So
and
that's why
ensure
they
he did not
separated.
intervene
That's why
in
they
Caesar's
separated him.
defense. Though the conspirators originally considered murdering the both of them together, they thought the optics of killing Caesar alone would be better. It would appear like the just killing of a tyrant, and not an arbitrary massacre. The stage is now set. All that
Wait, what do you mean
remains
he's not a
is for the
tyrant?
signal
What has he
to
done
be
to the
given.
people? So far, he's just been the king
That
who has
signal
been like
is
winning
Senator
battles like
Tilius
away
Kimbra.
from home.
As he marches towards the dictator, he exclaims loudly that Caesar should pardon his brother and return him from exile. Suddenly, dozens of other senators rise from their seats, and they too start approaching Caesar, shouting words of support for Kimber's request.
Hey, y'all are coming
the
a little
senators
too
circle
close.
him like sharks
Y'all are a
in the
little too
water,
close.
growing ever
Wait,
closer,
why
until
are
Kimber
y'all
thrusts
around me in
out
a
his
circle?
fist
This
and
is
tears Caesar's
guards,
toga down,
guards.
revealing the tunic underneath. Startled, Caesar recoils and shouts. Moments later, the senator Publius Casca strikes the first blow from behind. With a
No,
dagger
he stabs
thrust
him from
that
behind.
grazes Caesar's shoulder. He rises in shock, twirls around,
All right, now you have to
and
fight.
allegedly stabs
If you live, you
Casca
win. If you
with a
die, you
pen
lose. You can't
in
win if you don't
retaliation.
fight. Fight.
But alas, the pen is not mightier than the sword. In seconds, Caesar becomes enveloped
It
by
could
a
be
shroud
if you
of
stab
togas
the.
and
Okay, there's
collapses
too many of
under a
them.
hail of daggers.
There are
Two
too many
Caesar
of them.
loyalists try to break through to defend
So
him.
do we know
They
who
are pushed back.
all did this?
Marcus Brutus, a leading conspirator and former Pompeian, stabs Caesar in the groin amid the frenzy. A truly humiliating
In the
blow.
groin? Why
After
in the
inflicting
groin?
23
Wow,
stab wounds,
that's
the crowd of
yeah.
assassins stand back and admire their work. The would-be king, the
Hang all
tyrant,
of them.
is dead.
Impalement spikes. Okay, again, what exactly has he done to make him a tyrant? I've just heard of him doing things that have made Rome prosperous. At what point
In a
did he
twist
become
of
a
irony,
tyrant?
Caesar would bleed out beneath a statue of his former civil war rival, Pompey the Great. A statue he had refused to tear down. Caesar should have seen
I don't
it
know
coming.
about not tearing down the statue.
According
I
to
wouldn't
classical
wanna watch
sources,
that.
a month before his demise in February of
Wait,
44
why
BC,
should he have seen it
he
coming?
visited a fortune teller by the name of Spurina. He brought to her an animal to be sacrificed.
A fortune teller, you say?
And it is said that on the altar she could not find its heart in its chest cavity. Seeing this as a bad omen, she warned Caesar
What do you
his
mean?
life was in danger. The next day, when he returned again with a different sacrifice, she was unable to find part of its liver. From the entrails of the animal, she divined that
Okay,
Caesar
so
would
these
come to
animals
great
are just
harm
missing
in
body
the Ides
parts?
of March, otherwise known as the 15th. The
Beware
midpoint
the
of
odds of
month.
March.
But that wasn't all. The Roman historian Plutarch tells us that on the day before the 15th, Caesar and a fellow senator began discussing the best way to die. To which Caesar responded, quote, "A death
Really?
which is unexpected." Ominously, later that evening, when he and his wife
Really?
Calpurnia were asleep, the windows and doors of their bedchamber
Wait,
flew
so what
open
happened to his wife?
simultaneously, rousing Caesar from his slumber.
Wait, does he have
His
ghosts?
wife was yet asleep,
Do
yet
you
she
have
tossed
ghosts?
and turned, muttering
But yeah,
something
wait,
under
what
her
happened to
breath.
his wife? Did they
The
assassinate
next
his
morning,
wife?
upon waking up, she begged
Did he have
Caesar
children?
not
What
to
happened
attend
to
the
his
Senate
children?
meeting, for she had dreamt their house had collapsed and seen visions of her holding Caesar's bloodied, lifeless corpse. Caesar was, by Roman standards,
So
not
is this real,
particularly
or was this made up
superstitious,
after the
but
fact?
the mounting signs were enough to put even him at unease. To be sure, he summoned
Why didn't
his
you
own
wear body
seers
armor under
and had
your,
them
like,
conduct
tunic?
sacrificial rituals. All of them yielded bad omens.
Black magic.
That was enough for him to postpone the Senate meeting, resolving not to attend. So why in the end did he end up going? Well, his old friend, Decimus Brutus, convinced him on the morning of the Senate meeting to
It
ignore
was
the
Brutus.
omens and
It
attend
was
anyway.
Brutus.
He appealed to Caesar's ego. Would it not appear improper and above all ridiculous or cowardly if Caesar did not show his face at a session he summoned merely on the grounds of superstition?
Wait, so then
What
who
would that
became the
sort of
emperor after?
behaviour
Was it Brutus?
do to his
Did Brutus do
reputation?
all of this to become emperor
So
himself?
he went, and on his way to the Curia of Pompey, he was stopped by a man on the street. The man handed him a scroll and urged him to read it immediately, claiming it concerned him. Reports tell us that this scroll supposedly contained details of the plot against him. For one reason or another, Caesar did not read it
Wait. He
and
didn't read it?
directly.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is your fault. And this is your fault. This is like when a game, like when you're playing an open world game, you go into an area that's like way too high leveled for you, and you get that warning on the top of the screen, like, hey, a death clause in your area.
Into the
You know, you
lion's
should probably
den.
turn around.
Caesar's death would lead to a power vacuum and civil war that determined the fate of the Republic. Caesar's adoptive son, Octavian, and his former consul,
Well, the
Mark
Republic
Antony,
fell. It
would
became
form
an
an
empire.
alliance with one of Caesar's most trusted generals, Marcus Lepidus. Together they would hunt down the men that
Well, you
murdered
clearly
Caesar
can't trust
and crush
him
all
because
who
they
opposed
just
their
killed
rule,
Caesar.
leading ultimately to the fall of the Republic and the rise of a hereditary monarchy under the Roman Empire.
Wait, isn't Caesar the
Octavian
reason why,
would become emperor,
like the
and he would not
Russian
make his
president is
father's
known as like
mistakes.
the Tsar or
Caesar
something?
pardoned many of his enemies,
Because
even
of Caesar?
promoted them and gave them honours. Where others would have destroyed every trace of Pompey,
See, this
Caesar
is what
elected
happens
to
when
keep
you're
his
too nice.
statues up
You
as a
have to
show of
destroy
grace.
them.
His
Destroy them
mercy
all.
might have killed him,
Destroy us all.
and it might mean
Destroy us all.
And they'll destroy us all to make it happen! Destroy us all! Destroy us all!
Destroy us all.
that the last thing that Caesar ever saw while he was dying in a pool of his own blood was a statue of Pompey, staring down at him mockingly. Caesar treated his foes too kindly
He should have destroyed
and
the
flaunted
statue.
his power too brazenly,
Yes, he was too nice.
making him a
He
man
was
that
too
people
nice.
hated, not necessarily a man that they feared. In the words of the historian John Balston, if an authoritarian government
But why
was
did
to
they
be
hate him?
established successfully
What did he
in the
do
Republic's
to cause
place,
them to hate him?
it must not
What did
be
he do?
like
That's still what I'm
Caesar's
not getting.
inconsiderate, careless,
I haven't heard
and
you say he did a bad
authoritarianism.
thing so far.
It must wear a Republican mask, however false.
Well, wait, Europe's other Hitler? Okay, I definitely gotta watch that at some point. But yeah, so that's the end of the video, and I still don't get why people were viewing him as a tyrant. What did he do? It just seems like he was too successful. I don't get it. Why? But anyway, the original's in the description below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and that being said, later losers, KuroKumo out.